What's up, African Superstar family? It's Gina Ifoe, the one and only African Superstar. Big shout outs to those of you here in the building today. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe this channel, this video. Want to give a special shout outs to our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name. Also, big shout outs to the customers of the afrikansuperstar.com. I appreciate everything that you have been doing. Big shout outs to Samson. He's the first one in the building. Please make sure that you like it. This is a subscriber only chat room, which means you got to be subscribed to leave a message. And that's how we roll on this channel. Okay. So you do something for me, I do something for you. Now, I want to get on to my relationship topics or topics about Black males. I've had several videos recently kind of directed at them, and I want to carry on. So today's topic is how Black men can begin to heal and repair the community. Now, I often talk about the essential role that Black men hold in our community. And in as much, there's a lot of criticism of Black males and a lot of things like that. I want to talk about what they could do, to begin to kind of reverse some of the damage that we are seeing, especially in the West. I would say on the continent, you still see men functioning a lot in their roles, as far as fathers, as far as husbands, heads of the households, and that kind of thing. The machismo is still heavily promoted on the continent versus we see that the Black male is being exploited and emasculated in every opportunity in America. They are definitely using the media, athletes and musicians to push their agendas. These agendas, which I spoke about in a video a couple weeks ago, none of them are designed to edify and grow our community. All right. Black men that care and Black men that are able to understand what is happening have to begin to take strategic steps to do their share. All right. So that's what I want to talk about. I did prepare a list of a few things that I want to suggest for the Black males that they can begin to do to kind of start reversing some of the some of the obvious damages that have begun to confront our community. The first thing I want to say is they need to disengage. Okay. A lot of people are being affected the way they're being affected because of the influence of social media, the influence of celebrities, music, what they're seeing or what they're perceiving to be real. Because I think a lot of us understand that what we see here on social media, what's portrayed a lot of times is not actual truth, So sometimes you see things and then you might get an insight that, oh, it's not really what you thought it was, and that was not actually authentic. Okay. Black men need to disengage. Oh, I have something on my lip. Okay. Black men need to disengage from this stuff. They need to choose not to fall for it. When things are confronting them, they need to determine, okay, how is this going to benefit me as a person? How is this going to benefit my family? How is this going to benefit my future? Is this the right move? Instead of just following people down a dark hole in a path that is not going to lead them to success. Okay, what's up, family? If you're here, make sure you like the video. I know it might be a little early for you guys over there in the US. So my first suggestion to Black males is disengage. Okay, remove yourself from those negative influences. Okay, the next thing is preference. Okay, you see, sometimes what ends up happening is we're not forced to do anything in life. Okay, we're not really, if we're honest, a lot of times we're not forced. Okay, when you are forced, you don't actively have any alternative. Okay, you don't have any choice. You don't have any say in the matter. That's why, like, for instance, when people experience rape, they say, oh, he forced himself upon me. She forced herself upon me, you know. And basically they remove your opportunity to make a choice. A lot of times what happens with our people is there is heavy suggestion. Okay. There's coercion that happens, or there's, peer pressure that happens. But you yourself are the person that actually makes the choice and makes the decision. I would say that if our Black men begin to demonstrate a preference, you know, for their own community, for their own businesses, for their own women, for their own children, for their own homeland, for their own enterprise, we would immediately see a shift because they wouldn't be susceptible. Somebody would try to present them with this opportunity or maybe this type of partner and this and that. And the Black man will refuse because he would analyze it and say, you know what, this is not going to fit into my life plans. So I don't want this. Okay. So the first advice is disengage. The second one is preference. The third one is exampleship. Oh my goodness. Brothers, this is how you heal and repair the community, is by providing the example. Women, God bless them, for their efforts and everything that they do. A lot of times, some women are put into difficult situations where they're raising young men, okay, without the input of a male or the father or whatever. Men gravitate to other men. Brotherhood is important. Fatherhood is important. The influence that males have on each other is just colossal. You can set an example, okay, in the community of what success is, to model for your children and other, males that are looking up to you. You see, the reason why a lot of, for instance, these young men are turning out to be how they're turning out to be is because of the examples that they are watching. Okay. Their examples are rap stars. Okay. So that's what they want to do. They want to grow up and be a rapper. Okay. Their favorite rapper has tattoos all over his body, tattoos on his face. They go and do the same thing. Their favorite rapper has this kind of crazy hair. They go and do the same thing. Their favorite rapper, like say some young person's favorite rapper is Future. Okay. Future is Sierra's baby's daddy. And I believe Future has, last time I checked, it was over 7 children, I believe. Okay. It may have increased since then. So let's say your son, your nephew, okay, your godson, your grandson, their favorite rapper is Future. Okay. They're watching everything that he does. They see his music videos. They go to his concerts. They buy his records. They like his style. These are the kind of examples that a lot of our young men are looking up to because there are not examples in their community or in their household that they can look up to. A lot of successful men, they are due to the fact that they were modeled after their father, uncle, grandfather, whomever was in their life and showed them the ropes. I love those kind of guys. You talk to them, oh, my grandfather taught me this. My daddy taught me that. A male is going to have a lot of skill set to teach a young man how to become a boy. There's a lot of things, women, we just cannot teach a man, and it is what it is. We're not meant to, we're meant to be the mothers. We're meant to do our share, the maternal share. That's why it takes 2 to tango, is because the males are needed. All right. Example is the third thing. Big shout outs to the family. If you hear, please like the stream. Don't be shy in the chat room. It's subscriber only. So if you're not a subscriber, you won't be able to leave any messages. Sorry, subscribe today. Stop being a spectator. Today I'm talking about how Black men can begin to heal and repair the Black community. Okay. There are people that have larger platforms that should be talking about this kind of thing. And I got to give big shout outs to some of, popular males. My brother O'Shea, he does like to touch on a lot of topics to try to, empower Black men. And I think that's what we should be doing with our platforms. is trying to lift each other up. So I'm preparing a list of things that the fellas can do. The first topic is disengage, okay? Disengage from what society is telling you that you should be. Okay, disengage from the examples that they're giving you. Okay, they're telling you you should be a transgender, you're not really a male, you're not really a heterosexual male, and you should be dating outside your race. All these things are destructive to your community. Okay, disengage from that. The second thing is preference. Prefer your own, period. Okay. Nobody, for instance, can get me to sell out because I have a preference towards my own people, my community, my homeland. Okay. I don't care how much money they throw at me or different opportunities. If it's not in line with the African Superstar brand, I'm not taking it. I have a preference. And brothers, you need to exercise a preference as well. And okay, sorry, hold on. Number 3 was exampleship. That's what I was just talking about. Men, be an example to the men in your lives. It is critical. Number 4 is redeposit. Hello. Give back. Okay. There's nothing worse than someone who springboards, to position and then just neglects everybody else that assisted them along the way. Okay. That is how a cycle works. Okay. You get lifted up, you get elevated, and then you give back. We have a lot of our people that are not giving back. Okay. Basically, they get themselves established, they get stabilized, and then they're like, bye, good luck, see ya. Young men, or men, you guys know the challenges specifically that you go through growing up, especially those of you in the West. Redeposit yourself. Okay? Do something maybe for your community. Maybe it's something as simple as, you host a pizza night at your old recreation center or your church. You get some young men together. I don't even know what kind of stuff, the young people do anymore, but we used to go roller skating when I was young. Every Sunday, I used to go to the roller skating. These are the kind of things you can do just to have a rapport. Some young man can look up to you and say, I want to be like Alex. I want to be like Samson. I want to be like these guys. I'm not interested in the drug dealer life or the rap star life or the sellout life or whatever else is promoted. Be visible, be an active part. You can touch someone's life. All right. And so my 5th and final point also piggybacks on that, which is mentor. Okay. Some of you young men are not fathers, but you can still be beneficial to other young men. Okay. There is a dire need for male examples, especially good male examples. There are things maybe a young man would confide in you about that he wouldn't want to talk to about it with anyone else. Mentoring is a great option. Take somebody under your wing. You can actually sign up for mentoring programs and you go to a school, and you have, the child that you work with, or, you can just, if you see a neighborhood kid that you like, that you're kind of fond of or whatever, we have to start positioning ourselves to answer some of these questions that are in our community, not just sitting back and talking about our community. We are the community. We are the community. Either we're going to help it or we're not. Okay. And I personally believe, because I mean, this is a man's world. Okay. Some people, they don't like that fact, but it is what it is. This is a man's world. Okay. Which means when men take initiative, a lot of things are going to support them. A lot of doors are going to be open to them because they're a man. Because in essence, people want to see you rise up. Now, will you have opposition when you start taking this path? Absolutely. But you shouldn't be scared of it. Lots of women are out here taking this path. We ain't scared of it. You know, you can't be a silent partner out here. Because if you are, you're just as complicit about a lot of the things that are challenging our community. So this was today's message. I do have another message coming up in a few hours. You know, I always talk about how this platform is a pro Black male platform. I want to see you guys win. You know, I want to see you guys be who you're supposed to be. You know, I even want to assist, you know, a Black man on his journey to greatness. But we can't do it all for you guys. You have to take some initiative too, and you have to begin that journey. You know, you've got to have the courage. And at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not trying to be morbid, but we all gonna die anyway. So you might as well die for something. You might as well have made, you know, a mark on this earth. I often think about all these young men, teenagers, and stuff like that that get mixed up in this gang world and gun violence and knife crime. And you know, I think, wow, what a life wasted. You know, generations ended because of something trivial like that. You know, handling yourself as if you're worthless and you're not. And these are the kind of things that society is going to circulate to make you think, well, it doesn't really make a difference what I do. It doesn't really make a difference what I do, Gina. I'm just a man. I'm just for myself. No, you're not. You are absolutely not just for yourself. Think about a man named Malcolm X, okay? Do you guys know Malcolm X? If you're in the chat room and you know Malcolm, let me see a number one. Okay, let me say, if you're in the chat room and you're subscribed, let me see a number one if you know Malcolm X. Now, Malcolm X was just a man. He also was a husband, also was a father. He could have said, you know what, listen, I'm going to draw the line right here. I have my hands full with these kids. You know, Betty Shabazz, she gives me a headache, whatever. I just want to keep quiet and let it be. Big shout out to Tino. Malcolm X, try to quantify how many millions of people that Malcolm X has impacted. Okay, the man was in his 30s when he was killed. Okay, so for a lot of us that are on this channel, you know, we've even lived longer than Malcolm and haven't even had the impact that he has had. I mean, I'm not trying to say, but I'm just making the point that when a man gets ready to do something, you know, his impact can be profound. That is why. Okay. And this isn't for them suckers and this is not for them betas. This is for those leader men that are compelled, you know, that care and are asking themselves, you know, what is happening to our community? What is happening to our young people? Listen, I'm telling you, if a few good men decided, you know, that's how movements get started. Okay. Sometimes we get all caught up in the, well, you know, they have millions of people. They have thousands of people that listen to them, that follow them. What can I do? What can I do? Trust me, it starts with you. You as an individual doing what you can, being passionate about it, being honest, being true. It can spark a movement. Trust me. Black men need to step up and take responsibility for our community and begin to repair it. So in getting ready to close, I will recap. Okay, if you are just arriving, I see some of you guys coming in here, you will want to get the playback. I gave some suggestions as to what Black men can do to begin to heal and repair our communities. Okay, the first topic that I talked about, I'm just going to name them. You can go back and watch the video if you need elaboration. The first topic is disengage. Okay, that's the first thing Black men should do. Number two is develop a preference. Okay, they should always have a preference for their people, period. Okay, they should always have a preference for their homeland, for their country. Why would you be an African? You're repping France harder than you rep Senegal. You're repping UK harder than you rep Ghana. What type of nonsense is that? Preference. Okay. Number 3, exampleship. Hello, the man in the mirror. It starts with you. You're living all willy-nilly and you're looking around, and those of you that have sons, hello, your son is watching everything that you do. He either wants to be just like his dad or nothing like you, and you have the choice of which it's going to be by the example that you set. Number 4 is redeposit. Give back. Those of you that are African migrants or migrants from, the world, and you've gone to the West and maybe you've gotten educated and maybe you're making money. Oh yeah, give back to the homeland. Absolutely. Absolutely. Give back. Number 4 is mentoring. Okay? This is something you can do even if you're not a father. Expose a young person to a better quality of life. Maybe you might be the first window into that person's life to expose them. I know, for instance, me just being here on YouTube, I've been able to interact with people from around the world. I've been able to expose people from around the world to the continent. I've been able to influence them to consider it or travel there or whatever. It all comes from, your example and mentoring, and do what you can. It's not rocket science. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. I see the fellas is up in the room today, and I'm really happy to see you guys and a few others, I assume. Just make sure that you like the video, that you share the video. Again, I know it's a little early for those of you in the US, but I actually woke up hours ago, and I've been wanting to do this video, and I said it at this time just to try to give you guys a little reprieve. Okay, so I will see you guys again very, very soon. I have a live stream later on this evening, kind of piggybacking on this topic. So until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true. What's up, Kim? I see you there in the end. Big shout outs to you. Big shout outs to the family. So I will see you guys all again very soon. Okay?